in the electrical panel is just a regular breaker. Now some breakers now you can get a 20 amp, and this was under a 20 amp circuit in the electrical panel. Sometimes you can get breakers now that has the actual trip on it right there on the breaker, and maybe you don't have to install an electrical outlet such as this. You can just have regular electrical outlets, but usually they like to do it somewhere in the kitchen, and probably what's going to happen, the electrical panel is out past the garage, out that way, so the main power that comes in probably comes from here. And then the way that they've hooked up this electrical outlet, the power goes from here over to the next plug, which is over there, and then it goes over to there, and then it probably comes down underneath the floor over to the cabinet on that side of the sink, and then this one over here. Okay, let's see if my hypothesis is right. And this is, you know, if I couldn't find the breaker, for this, for that plug over there, and if that was just there, and let's just say I wanted to work on one electrical outlet. Let's just say I wanted to work on this one, and I don't want to go down to the sub panel or the main panel of the house. Maybe you're in an apartment, a condominium. You don't even know where the electrical panel is. I don't know, but let's just have a test here. I'm gonna turn this, but before I do that, I'll in fact show you. Get my tester out right now. Let's see here, and see, one's red, one's black, but for this case, you can just push it in, whichever side. See there, the power is in fact on. These are both interconnected. Now when I press the black button, this red should pop out and the power should go off. And see, the power is off. It's all off there now. So that means anything after this one I can work on. I can't work on this one because there's still power coming from here. The electrical panel, the circuit breaker still feeds this, but this is wired in such a way to where this is pressed out, the power's not working there right now, okay? Now, let's go over to here. No funny business. I'm trying to teach you something here. I'm going to say this power is going to be off. I have not tested this yet. See? It's off. Nothing here. That's because it's connected to that GFI electrical outlet I just tripped. I put it in test mode, popped it out. This one should be off now. See, so technically I could, after I get the power off, the breaker for this is off. Once I get the lights off, see, the light still works because the light's on a separate circuit. Wow, this box may be kind of full. I know I have at least three wires coming into this box, and it probably has a fourth one if they didn't just stop to here. They could have ran the power over to here and then stopped it, and then taken the power from that location and went up over to get over to the island, that electrical outlet, this electrical outlet over here. Or they could have come from that wall. They might have probably just come from that wall, and then they have another wire that goes over this way to that electrical outlet, and boom, from there over there. Okay, then they might have another electrical outlet wire from there, goes up into the ceiling, across, or down. Sorry, it could go down from there underneath the floor, back up over to the counter, whatever. So I don't know exactly, but that tells me that there's no power there. Let's just for kicks, I know you wanted to see this. This electrical outlet's probably off now too. And if it's not, nope, look, it's still on. Okay? And that's going to be labeled under something else. That's going to be labeled in the electrical panel. See, the power is still onto that. So there's got to be another circuit for that. And see, this one, technically, this I would say should be off because it's close to water. When you ever have anything in your kitchen, electrical outlets, light switches, whatever, well, the electrical outlets for sure, you want to have those on a GFI electrical breaker or an outlet. Now see there, the power, I just saw it on. See? It's still on. Right there, it's orange. I don't know if you can see that or not. On, off, I'm just wiggling this. So I know there's still power there. So maybe there's another electrical outlet that has a GFI, and there very well could be. There could be a breaker, an electrical outlet here. This one could be GFI. See where the garbage disposal is? But it's not. Okay? So that's on a different circuit. And that might have to be something that I put on a video another time to remove this electrical outlet over here and install a GFI electrical outlet. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have to do that or not. Might have to. Hey, I just noticed this was loose. Okay, so just wanted to kind of show you about electrical outlets, GFIs. And so what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to reset this. I'm just going to press the red button in and push it in, and that resets it. That I know there's power. There's power to this outlet now. See? Power to there. So I don't want to make any assumptions. I was just trying to teach you something. So I'm going to go back to the electrical panel. I'm going to shut that breaker off for this plug here, this outlet. Duplex receptacle is what it's called. And then I'll find the extra circuit for lights and turn that one, and let's get on with the project. Okay, so I found another breaker, and I got two panels to this house. One panel had the electrical for the GFI kitchen in that panel, and also the garbage disposal. And interestingly enough, I also found one that said island garbage disposal, which was for this island. That's what you call this separate cabinet countertop area. This is an island, and it said electrical. It said it didn't say GFI. It said garbage disposal and island, and that's what this switch is here for. It's a garbage disposal. And interestingly enough, that breaker was not a GFI breaker, and so that tells me, you know, really, in all reality, this should be a GFI electrical outlet. The inspector missed that. Sorry, Mr. Inspector. That should have been included with your electrical correction list when this house was built. Hey, Mr. Electrician, you need to change that plug. You know better than that. But he didn't. And now I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands, make a different video of that some other time. Okay? So right now I've checked. This was for the garbage disposal. I've turned off the same one for the a different breaker for the plugs for the kitchen. And I'm just going to check it and double check, and yes, it's off. This is for the light that's above here. And you always want to just double check things, okay? I've got that up there and it's off. And you want to make sure you check things, because what would have happened if this light switch, if I didn't do that first? I made the assumption it's working. I turn the breaker off and I come back up here, hit this, and sure enough the light's off. But what would have happened if the light bulb was burned out? And the light's off, and I think that I've got the right breaker, and I start pulling this out because I thought the light was off, because the switch says it's off, and I find out there's power in here. Well, maybe that's because you turned the wrong electrical breaker off in the electrical panel, and then you found out later there's power in here, and it might have been because you didn't check this first. Check it first to make sure that light's working. If the light's not working, your light bulb could be burned out. And if your light bulb's burned out, you might want to get up there and change your light bulb, make sure it's working prior to turning off the breakers. Okay, there's a tip for you. If you haven't learned anything else today, and if you decide you don't want to watch anymore, if you think, I know how to do all this, I don't have to watch this, maybe you just learned a couple different things from that and the GFI electrical outlets in your kitchen and so forth and so on. But I found in that one panel, I had the breakers for these two, garbage disposal and kitchen lights, or kitchen electrical outlets, GFIs. And then I found it said sub panel in there. I had to find my sub panel, and this circuit right here for kitchen lights is in the sub panel, which was downstairs. Okay, so there's, man, the electricians had to do a lot of work, didn't they? They had to bring 3 different circuits down there. Now, why do you suppose they did that? Well, the main reason why they did that is because if somebody else is working in here, they don't want to get them all worked up about how they're wiring things, because standard is all of your light switches are on one circuit, all of your outlets are on different circuits and different circuits here, and your garbage disposal is usually on a separate circuit, or maybe that tied in with your microwave or that tied in with your dishwasher or something like that. Here they decided one dedicated circuit for the garbage disposal. Okay, so you have to, you know, could they have come in here with one circuit and one circuit just for this? Yeah, maybe they could have, but that's just not how electricians generally do it. Okay, so that's why you have to do the thought process, especially when you're in the kitchen. All right, time to get busy and pull this thing apart.